Hey, what's up, guys? It's Coach Craig. I'm going to go over the three things that every businessman must do daily to improve how they look, feel, and perform. Now, this is for anybody. You can be a finance bro or a freelancer, whatever it is. Make sure you're doing these three things. I'll talk about them in order. And the key to me is going to be the last one. That's something I missed out. Now, the first thing is going to be your training. You need to work out in some form every day, not just for your body, but for your mental and emotional state. I'm telling you, you can do, if you're doing high intensity, you're going to do that a few times a week. Now, if you're doing lower intensity, you can do that every single day or alternating, right? So if you're doing really high intensity 1 or 2 days, the next day should be very low intensity or at least training a different style or a different muscle group or a different method, right? So if you're lifting Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or 4 days out of the week, then those other days should be more of light runs or some lower intensity exercises or even mobility, yoga, stretching, etc. Now, the next thing I want to mention is your training duration. Keep everything ideally less than an hour, unless you're training for a marathon or something like that, which I truly would not recommend. Make sure, especially if you're doing an intense session, it should be 30 minutes of intensity, or you're doing a few minutes on, a few minutes off, having some rest in between. And then if you're just doing more of a low intensity, steady state cardio or yoga, something like that, then you can fill the whole hour, but you don't really want to go over that. Obviously, you've got a business to work on, or you've got a career to work on, and you have a social life as well, I would hope. So keep that in mind. Next up is going to be number two. You need to fuel your body for success. You think you can get away with these things, you should try to optimize your nutrition using things like intermittent fasting. I recommend having caffeine. I don't see why people try to avoid it. I don't think you're going to be dependent on it any worse off for using it. And yeah, having that nutrition on point is going to be key. If you're looking to build muscle, obviously fuel with a lot of animal protein. That's going to be the best and most bioavailable way to get the nutrients and the protein that you need to grow and feel satiated or full without overeating a bunch of junk food. Now, with that in mind, you want to get in some carbs or some fats as well. Fats are going to be great for your testosterone, the good fats, fats from whole foods or animals, etc., or even dairy. And yeah, that's going to be the second step, nutrition. If you need more specifics, let me know. A lot of things that are underrated are fruits, honey, and fish. Those are going to be great not only for your physical presence, but also for helping your mind. Same goes for caffeine. I couldn't recommend it enough in the morning, at least. Try to delay my carb intake, especially a lot of carbs, anything other than like fruit itself, until the evening or even until dinner, ideally. Sometimes I'll have like something easy to digest, rice or sourdough bread. Try to be specific or picky when it comes to carbs, but load in the protein and the fats. Just make sure you're counting or have an idea of what the calories are. It's super easy. You can say, "Hey, ChatGPT, what are my give me the macros and calories for this meal." Boom, it'll save it, and then you'll say, "My calorie goal is XYZ. How many calories do I have left? And what would be a good meal to make that work?" Simple, use these tools, but also don't abuse the tools or rely on them overly. Just use them. Don't have a half-hour conversation on what your macros need to be. Just get the gist and kind of do the rest yourself. If you have questions on that, let me know in the comments, or you can hit me up on Instagram at GrowWithCraigo. Now, let's move on to number three, and this one I believe is key. Recovery. Not only mentally, but physically, or not only physically, but mentally, I would say. And the way that you do this can be dependent on what it is your goals are and what you need. But things like taking a nap. I think I did a post the other day. In this book, they talked about how they did a test on who is performing better in the afternoon or in the evening when it comes to getting work done, just productivity wise, right? The person that drinks more coffee, the person that got a lot of sleep the night before, or the person that took a nap. And it was the person that took a nap, that 30 minutes to just rest and reset, that outperformed people that added more coffee and people that had a good night's sleep even. So if you get 6 hours, that's all right. Obviously, you want to get closer to 8. If you're adding caffeine in the afternoon, it might mess up your sleep schedule later. But realistically, if you can take a half-hour nap, anywhere between noon and 6 p.m. would probably be that afternoon gap where you can utilize that to improve your performance throughout the day. Not only if you worked out in the morning is that going to help, but also it's going to help you mentally and emotionally just re-energize and be good to go. Now, with that said, there are plenty of other methods. I have with me here a foam roller, or even just a good old PVC pipe to stretch. I could even show. Seems weird, but I might have some cupping marks. Yeah, so did some cupping to open up my chest. Typically, I have a little bit of a rounded posture or a tight chest. So opening that up, especially after a good chest workout the other day. But recovery, telling you need to do these things. Recovery to center yourself mentally, improve your performance when it comes to your work, being present in your relationships, and giving your all when it comes to exercise and stuff like that. There are plenty of methods. Cold tubs, cold showers even help. Going for a walk in nature, swimming in the ocean or the river within reason, and stuff like that. Just grounding to the earth, getting some sunlight. These things are going to boost your mood, help you recover, help you feel better, and continue doing something purposeful. Now, there's obviously the counter side to this. What are the things you need to avoid? But to me, if you can hyper focus on the things that you should be doing and just filter out anything that is not that, you're going to be a lot better off. Having the right things on your mind is going to be key, or your focus. Just when you're working, you're not worried about what could go wrong. You're worried about problem solving or making steps towards your goals. Right? That's a decent covering. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say. Is it fair to say that training, nutrition, and recovery will be the best things for helping businessmen look, feel, and perform better? Don't worry about my ChatGPT. I haven't customized slightly. Absolutely, mate. It's not just fair. It's spot on. Training, nutrition, and recovery are the holy trinity for helping businessmen look sharper, feel more energized, and perform at their peak physically and mentally. Here's why. Training sharpens the body and mind, builds strength, boosts confidence, and releases testosterone-driving endorphins. Nutrition fuels focus, stabilizes mood, and builds a lean, powerful physique from the inside out. Hold on. Recovery. I forgot to mention this. Part of recovery is lowering stress. I'm going to say that again. Part of recovery is lowering stress. What does that mean? That means things like breath work, meditation. Again, taking walks in nature, I can't advocate for enough. Active recovery can be things like walking in nature, or even a really slow light jog, foam rolling, stuff like that. Passive recovery is going to be more of your cupping, getting massages. Obviously, don't need to do those things every single day, but as needed. Hot and cold therapy, sauna, steam room, etc. Ice baths, right? Just keep that in mind. Now, the ice baths are going to be something you probably want to do in the morning because they'll give you dopamine after, but they are going to spike your cortisol initially and get you really awake and excited, or fight or flight. But the sauna is going to be good, especially in the evening. Even a warm shower in the evening can help to get you into that relaxed state. Now, let's continue on with its chat's analysis. Recovery is the secret weapon. It's when hormones reset. So key. Muscles repair and your nervous system gets recalibrated for high performance. When these three are aligned, you're not just healthier, you're dangerous in the best way. More presence, more power, more respect. Yes, if a businessman wants to upgrade how he looks, feels, and performs, those are the three pillars he must master. Everything else builds on that foundation. 100%. Fitness is the foundation. Let me know what else you guys want to hear about. Do these things every day in some way. Personally, I block off time for all three. So I block off a 2-hour block to get my workout in and my first meal of the day. And then later in the day, if I haven't, or actually have been starting my morning with a walk, and then later in the day I have a half hour to an hour blocked off for recovery. So that can be taking a nap, meditation, foam rolling, yoga, like a light yoga, anything like that, or just time blocked off at some point. Whether I move that in earlier with my workout and use a sauna after I work out, or take an ice bath, whatever it may be, blocking off these times and making time for them. And a lot of times you can even multitask. Sometimes I can be responding to messages or working on content ideas. I do have a walking, where it is actually, I do have a walking treadmill for a lot of times. I'll just be getting my steps in, but I don't count that as specifically for recovery and stuff. I really do just think it helps me to get my body moving and keep ideas flowing and stuff like that. If you're sitting down at a desk, you're going to be, your posture's not going to be great. You're going to be looking over at a laptop or looking over at a phone or at a notebook. So it helps to just have a walking, or luckily I'm on a standing desk now, have a walking desk if you can. They're only $100. And then, yeah, that's it for now though. To me, fitness is the foundation for improving the rest of your life, whether that's mentally, emotionally, socially, intellectually, or spiritually. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As long as I have the comments turned on, I got to fix that. But talk to you guys soon. If you have any questions, hit me up on Instagram at GrowWithCraigo. And if you're interested in coaching, you can check out my link there. I also have some free guides, or at least one free guide, probably two here soon, that you can check out to not only boost your how you look, feel, and perform, but helping you things with energy, strength, confidence, boosting testosterone, and some simple plans to make progress there. Peace out.